Hey guys. Okay, so I know you're looking at the title. Yes, you will get my opinion on Donald Trump and the border wall situation, the whole Shazam. So, this is what people tend to forget. Each country has their own privacy and their own rights. They are allowed to control who comes in and who leaves. The biggest issue that are confusing people so much is the fact that this is America and we are liable for all nations and we accept and allow everyone for all type of ethnic and background, and we allow them to come into our country in order to have freedom. Now, that is true. But if you think about it, if you dig really deep down, you will understand that we still have our own protection. We have crime that is actually occurring right now in our own country. Other countries do as well. If you think about it, Russia can control who they come in, um, who leaves and who stays. They can control that. China does the same thing. Canada does the same thing. If Canada, even though Canada is attached to America, they can also prohibit us from coming into their country. Now, it confuses a lot of people, but that's just the truth. You have to realize this. Donald Trump never said that he did not want Hispanics to come into America. He was not prohibiting them from coming to America. He was worried about the people who were in extreme endangerment, people who had extreme criminal passes and backgrounds in Mexico, then decide to come into America and start a new life. Really? You might get some people who were trying to start a new life, but you have a lot of people who continued the same thing and, became even worse. So, knowing that we have our own issues here in America, it doesn't really, it wouldn't really be that bright to continue. The border wall is not a racist thing. It is a form of protection. Okay, we have enough border security that is surveilling the ocean, because there are people who can still get here from the ocean. They don't necessarily have to cross the border on through land, but because that is one of the most easiest ways to get here. Yeah, we're gonna need a border wall. Okay, if you think about it, people who were born in Mexico, who were raised in Mexico, who never been to America are allowed to come to America. They are allowed to come to America. If they wanted to come to America to live, they are allowed to come to America to live. Right now, there are some people who need to be registered because there's a lot of people sneaking in. The people who are sneaking in are the people who've been in trouble in the past, who does not want to get registered because of their extreme criminal ways. And people tend to get that mixed up. It has nothing to do with race. It has something to do with behavior. Now, I know some people are sick and tired of Donald Trump. That's your opinion. You can think the way you want to think. I'm not going to get into politics and about who I'm for and who I'm against, but it all has to do with thinking outside of the box here. Okay, maybe he is a racist. Maybe he isn't. I'm not going to answer that question, but I am going to tell you right now that America has their own policy, rights, and regulations to follow. They have their own rules. If they want to control who comes in and out of America, they can. You don't see them doing anything about a foreign nation that comes and wants to attack us. You guys don't say anything about that. It's still posing a threat to America. we stopped some of them from coming over here. We really postponed Russia. We really postponed places like Al Qaeda and Afghanistan and things like that. Certain people that live in these certain countries are allowed to come because they have been registered, they have been checked, their background has been cleared. They are not tied to anything. That's the same as Mexico. Some people are not tied to anything. Some people are actually not criminals. Some people are actually, whatever. But that is his main issue. If you think about it, you remember the teenager who got stabbed by a gang member in, I believe it was the Bronx in New York City, or the Bronx, New York area, or whatever. That was an actual violent crime from Hispanics, and some of them were actually illegal. So that's the reason why we're saying that could have been prevented, because they came here to America with their own crime. Another thing, the young girl who became missing for weeks and months was actually found dead. Actually, I believe it was like miles from where she were, like not even out of the state that she was actually abducted in. Who was the person who abducted her? An illegal immigrant. That's what he's talking about. Okay? He's talking about the criminals, not the people who are not criminals. So people need to understand that. That's the only thing people have to get right. So I'm making this video just as short as possible, so letting you guys know that. And I also posted that on my Twitter page. I said that I was really, really, really serious, you guys. Really. And I will actually read that out there to you. It's funny how the Trump supporters with millions, billions, and trillions of dollars haven't given a dime for the border wall. Like $8 million is a whole lot of money to them, really. Shaking my head, that's what I said, shaking my head. Talk about Trump supporters, right? And I was serious. The second thing I said that I had tweeted was, I want all nations to live here in America. Do I have a problem with the border wall being built at the U.S. border? Well, if it's stopping the new crime from occurring in spite of our own crime, that's already happening, then I don't see a problem. And I really don't. That is just like the God's honest truth right now. I don't really see a problem. The third thing that I posted was, I know people are calling Trump a racist, and I don't judge other people's opinions like I told you before. But if you really, truly think about it, the border wall situation, every country has their own privacy and the right to protect who comes in and out of their country. So why should America be unprotected? That's all we're saying. We're allowing people with good backgrounds to come in. Good people, they deserve it. But people who will have the same patterns over and over again and then fleece, come on, you're already... If you have nothing to hide, then you will not hide your identity and you will come in legally, like everyone else. But if you have something to hide and you're trying to sneak in, that means something is wrong. And like I said before, Donald Trump never said he didn't want people from Mexico to come in the U.S. He just wanted the ones with extreme criminal backgrounds not to enter, knowing that we have our own crimes to fix. Duh. A lot of people who are not educated are not going to understand that because they're following behind what everybody else says. So you have to, he might be a racist. You know what I'm saying? He might be a liar. But at the same time, you have to think about this. That is still protecting our country. So just think about that. Take the good out what you can. let other people deal with the negative part. You know, that will follow itself. That will happen. But let that sink in, because a lot of people don't really understand that. So I'm going to make this video very short, and thanks for watching. Yeah, take care.